December 31st, 1967. Padre Pio gathers his closest friars. His face is pale. His stigmata wounds are bleeding more heavily than usual, always a sign that he's experiencing something spiritually intense. And what he tells them about this specific date, December 31st, and what happens in the spiritual realm between December 31st and January 1st, will make your blood run cold. He says, the enemy knows. He knows that this is humanity's most vulnerable moment, and he's been planning his attack for this exact night for centuries. What Padre Pio revealed about New Year's Eve, and what's happening in the unseen realm while you're celebrating, will absolutely terrify you. Before I tell you what Padre Pio prophesied, and trust me, you're not ready for this, you need to understand something about December 31st that most people never realize. It's not just another night. It's not just a time to party and make resolutions you won't keep. December 31st is the only night of the year when humanity collectively focuses on time ending. Think about it. Midnight on New Year's Eve is the only moment when everyone, across the entire world, is counting down to a specific second, anticipating an ending, preparing for a transition. And Padre Pio saw something about this collective human consciousness that made him weep for 3 days straight. He told his friars, Satan has weaponized this night. He's turned what should be a moment of gratitude and reflection into a celebration of excess, vanity, and spiritual vulnerability, and most people have no idea what they're opening themselves up to. Hit subscribe right now, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see New Year's Eve forever. And if you have plans to celebrate, you might want to cancel them after hearing this. Here's what Padre Pio saw with his mystical vision. What happens in the spiritual realm at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve. At 11:59 p.m. on December 31st, demons that have been assigned to specific geographic regions for the entire year receive their final orders for a coordinated global attack. And at exactly midnight, when humanity is at its most distracted, most intoxicated, most spiritually unguarded, they strike. One of the friars asked, "What kind of attack?" Padre Pio's answer was chilling. Temptation, possession, oppression, on a scale you cannot imagine. They target 3 specific groups. Group 1, the drunk and vulnerable. People who celebrate by drinking to excess lose their spiritual defenses. Intoxication doesn't just impair your physical judgment, it weakens the spiritual protection around your soul. And demons know this. They wait for the moment when you're too drunk to pray, too distracted to resist, too numb to even recognize you're under attack. Padre Pio described seeing, in spiritual vision, demons swarming New Year's Eve parties like flies on rotting meat, whispering suggestions, amplifying emotions, turning celebration into violence, lust, despair. I've seen marriages destroyed on New Year's Eve because of decisions made while drunk. I've seen people commit sins they would never commit sober. I've seen demonic attachments form in a single night that take years to break. All because they thought it was just a party. Group 2, the lonely and despairing. The second group demons target are those spending New Year's Eve alone, not by choice, but by isolation, rejection, loneliness. These souls are already vulnerable, already hurting, and at midnight, when they see everyone else celebrating, connecting, belonging, the enemy whispers, "You're worthless. You're alone. You'll always be alone. Why keep living? Padre Pio said he could see, literally see, demons of despair and suicide working overtime on December 31st, pushing people toward final, irreversible decisions. Suicide rates spike between December 31st and January 2nd. That's not coincidence. That's warfare. The enemy knows this is when people are most susceptible to that final lie, that ending their life is the only way to end their pain. Group 3, the spiritually complacent. But the third group, this is the one most people don't see coming. Demons target Christians who celebrate December 31st with zero spiritual awareness. Catholics who go to Mass in the morning but get drunk at night. People who pray before dinner but then spend midnight focused on everything except God. These people think they're safe because they're good Catholics, but they don't realize spiritual protection requires active vigilance. The moment you let your guard down, even for one night of harmless fun, you create an opening, and the enemy is waiting for that opening. Drop a comment, "I had no idea," if you're shocked by what you're hearing, because it gets so much worse. Now Padre Pio reveals the most terrifying part. The 3 hours after midnight are the most spiritually dangerous of the entire year. From midnight to 3 a.m. on January 1st, there's a window. A specific window when demonic activity reaches its annual peak. Why? Because 3 a.m. is the devil's hour, the mockery of Christ's death at 3 p.m. And when that hour falls on the first day of a new year, it's particularly significant to the enemy. He described what he saw. People who celebrated at midnight go home. They're exhausted, drunk, spiritually depleted, and they sleep. But while they sleep, the demons who attach to them during the celebration get to work. Nightmares. Not normal dreams. Spiritual attacks disguised as nightmares. Dreams that plant fear, doubt, despair. Dreams that make you wake up feeling worse than when you went to bed. Oppression. A weight that settles on your chest, your mind, your soul. You wake up on January 1st feeling inexplicably depressed, anxious, hopeless. You think it's a hangover, but it's not just physical. It's spiritual. The enemy has been oppressing you while you slept. Attachments. For some, particularly those who sinned grievously during the celebration, a demon attaches. Not possession, that requires invitation, but attachment, following, influencing, whispering. And most people never realize it happened because they're not spiritually aware enough to notice. Padre Pio said, "I've counseled people who came to me in February, March, even June, struggling with new addictions, new temptations, new spiritual darkness. And when I trace it back, when I ask when it started, it always goes back to New Year's Eve. Something happened that night. An opening was created, and they've been under attack ever since. This is why so many New Year's resolutions fail by January 15th. You think it's lack of willpower, but Padre Pio revealed it's demonic sabotage. The enemy doesn't want you to improve, and he uses New Year's Eve to ensure you won't. Here's where Padre Pio's revelation becomes prophetic, because he didn't just describe what happens every December 31st. He prophesied what's coming in future years. There will come a December 31st. I don't know which year, but it's coming, when the spiritual attack will be so intense that millions will fall simultaneously. Not physically die, but spiritually die. Their souls will become so darkened, so hardened, so separated from God, that they'll be essentially lost even while still breathing. He described this future New Year's Eve. Technology will have advanced. People will be more connected than ever, but more alone than ever. The celebration will be broadcast globally, synchronized across time zones, and at the stroke of midnight in each time zone, the enemy will coordinate his attack with precision humanity has never seen. Entertainment will have become so perverse that what people celebrate at midnight won't even resemble celebration anymore. It will be mockery, blasphemy, open rebellion against God disguised as progress and freedom. And the church, God forgive us, the church will be so weakened, so compromised, so focused on being relevant that it will offer no warning. Priests will attend these parties, Catholics will participate without a second thought, and the shepherds will have abandoned their flocks to the wolves. One of the friars asked, terrified, "When? When will this happen?" Padre Pio replied, "I don't know the year, but you'll recognize the signs. When New Year's Eve becomes compulsory, when people who choose not to celebrate are mocked, ostracized, called fun killers or religious extremists, when staying home to pray on December 31st makes you a social outcast. That's when you know the enemy has won the cultural battle, and the spiritual slaughter will follow. Look around. Are we there yet? Comment, "We're close," if you think we're living in the time Padre Pio warned about. But Padre Pio didn't just warn. He gave specific instructions on how to protect yourself on December 31st. And if you do nothing else, do these. Instruction 1. Fast. Don't eat after 6 p.m. on December 31st. Fast from food, alcohol, entertainment. Create spiritual space. Demons thrive on excess. Fasting creates a barrier they cannot easily penetrate. Instruction 2. Pray the Rosary at midnight. While the world counts down to midnight, you should be praying, specifically the Rosary. Mary's intercession is powerful against demonic attack, and midnight is when you need that protection most. Instruction 3. Stay home. Don't go to parties. Don't go to bars. Don't go anywhere the celebration is focused on worldly pleasure. These environments are saturated with demonic presence on December 31st. If you must celebrate, do it at home, with family, with prayer. Instruction 4. Go to confession before December 31st. Enter the new year in a state of grace. Confess everything. Clear your soul. Because if you're in mortal sin on New Year's Eve, you're essentially inviting the enemy in. He has legal right to attack souls that are already separated from God's grace. Instruction 5. Bless your home. Use holy water. Bless every entrance to your home on December 31st. Pray, "Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Protect this home and everyone in it from the enemy's attacks tonight." Do this before midnight. Padre Pio said, "If you do these 5 things, the enemy's attack will be significantly weakened, not eliminated. You're still in a war zone, but you'll have armor, protection, and a fighting chance. This isn't optional. This is spiritual survival. Take this seriously or suffer the consequences." Finally, Padre Pio described what December 31st should be. Instead of a drunken countdown to nothing, it should be a vigil of gratitude, a holy hour thanking God for the year that's ending, confessing the sins of the past 12 months, asking forgiveness, seeking strength for the year ahead. At midnight, instead of champagne and noise, there should be silence, kneeling, adoration, welcoming the new year not with parties, but with prayer, asking God to bless it, to guide it, to protect you through it. He described a vision of what this could look like. Imagine if every Catholic family spent December 31st in prayer. If every church held midnight vigils instead of closing early so priests could attend parties. If January 1st began not with hangovers, but with Mass, with clear minds, with souls prepared. The enemy would lose. His coordinated attack would fail because there would be no openings, no vulnerabilities, no distracted, intoxicated, spiritually careless victims. But that's not the world we live in. So the attack continues, year after year, December 31st, after December 31st, and most people never even realize they're under siege. So here's what you need to decide right now. How are you going to spend December 31st this year? Are you going to celebrate the way the world celebrates? Getting drunk? Staying up late partying? Counting down to midnight like it's some magical moment? Creating openings for the enemy to attack? Or are you going to take Padre Pio's warning seriously? Fast. Pray. Stay home. Protect yourself spiritually. Enter the new year prepared instead of vulnerable. Here's your action plan. Share this video immediately with every Catholic you know. They need this warning. Make a decision today about how you'll spend December 31st. Don't wait until the day of. Go to confession ASAP if you haven't been recently. Enter the new year clean. Prepare. Get holy water. Plan your rosary time. Tell your family what you're doing and why. Pray. Ask God to protect you and your family from the enemy's attacks on this vulnerable night. Comment. I'm praying, not partying. If you're committing to spending New Year's Eve the way Padre Pio recommended. Subscribe because I'm going to keep exposing these hidden spiritual truths that could save your soul. Padre Pio saw what's coming. He warned us. Now it's up to you whether you listen. December 31st is not just another night. It's a battlefield. And you're either armed or you're a casualty. Choose wisely.